Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Lauren if you're new here. If you're new, please hit that subscribe button. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, but I need your help. If you're not new and you're returning, you're amazing. Hopefully you've been here for the entire Project Pan series because we are now on month 5, which is crazy to me, of this Project Pan that I wasn't even sure if I wanted to do it in the first place. And I am glad that I'm doing it, that I'm in the process. This is a 6-month project because I really wanted to see how it was gonna go. And yeah, we just finished month 5. So I'm gonna talk about my progress with the products that I picked, if I finished any, how I'm feeling about the product. Yeah, just my overall thoughts. I have this awesome Excel spreadsheet I've been using to keep track of everything. So I will be referencing that for the amount of times I've used these products over the past month. And let's just get into it. This will be a pretty easy, chill video, my favorite kind. So yeah, I've been reviewing a lot of products lately. I'm kind of glad that I'm not testing stuff on my face right now because my face is tired. It feels tired. But let's get into the products that are in this basket that are in my Project Pan. Okay, so first up in the month of October, we have the Stila Huge Lash Mascara. Bloop. I've used this a total of 3 times. This one was just introduced into my Project Pan last month. And last month I also used it 3 times, so total of 6 times. And I've made the decision to toss this. At this point, it's getting kind of old. It doesn't smell bad or anything, but you may know that you're only supposed to use, you know, products around your eyes for a certain amount of time. And this is a great mascara. Yeah, it smells fine. It's still working fine, but it's definitely older than the recommended 3 months. It's probably older than 6 months, maybe older than that. It's time to say goodbye. I did use it, you know, 6 times. But it's just, I don't want to put it around my eyes anymore, so we are going to toss this one. Up next, we have something from Hourglass. This is their Voyeur waterproof gel eyeliner. I have mine in the color Obsidian. I finished it. Oh, I'm so excited I finished it. It looks like it's got like a little nub left, but it's done. It won't go up anymore. Thank God. This took me forever. I used this in October a total of 10 times. It was also new into my Project Pan last month where I used it 7 times. So total of 17 times. I knew it was getting low, but now it's done. It's done. So we're saying goodbye to this because we used it. We got our money's worth. We have 3 primers in this Project Pan. The first one is this Hourglass primer. This is their Vanish Airbrush primer. And as you can see, I have been scraping every little bit out of this guy. Now, let's see. This guy has been in my Project Pan since the beginning. And the reason why he's been in my Project Pan is because it's a great primer and it's an expensive primer and I wanted to finish it. I have so many primers. And I was like, look, this has been in my collection for a little while. I want to finish it up. I want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth. And at some point, like the pump, it just stopped working. The product was a little too thick, couldn't handle it. So I had to scoop it out with a spatula. At this point, we're calling it a day. It's done, okay? I've spatulaed the heck out of it. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna take a hammer, open it up, get every little last piece. I'm just not. But I am going to make sure to get as much as I possibly can before it becomes too much trouble, which is what it is now. So we're calling this done. This one is done. Now I used this one a total of 7 times this month, and that brought my total to 41 times during Project Pan. I'm glad that it's done. Okay, it's a great primer, but I don't want to use it anymore, so we're saying goodbye. I have this travel size primer. This is the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Base Luminizer in Radiant Pink, and this one I've actually used, so this one was new last month as well, and I used it a total of 11 times this month, bringing my total to 21 times. It's still going. It's almost empty, but there's still product in here. So even these travel sizes can last quite a while. So I'm still working on this guy. The one that has gotten like 0 use, completely 0 use. This is the Fenty Hydrating Primer. No, I have not used it. It was new into my Project Pan last month. Didn't use it last month, didn't use it this month. It's like super watery now. Is it supposed to be that watery? Do I just need to shake it up? I think it's fine. but it is older, so I'm a little nervous to use it now. I'm gonna see though. I'm gonna use it this month. Now that we finally are done with the Hourglass one, we have room to use this one. So I'm gonna see. I'm really hoping it's not too old and it doesn't break my face out. The Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is in the color 3 Neutral. It has been in my project pan since the beginning, and it's getting like thinner and thinner, but it's still going. So I use this one not very much. It was only a total of 4 times in October, bringing my total since the beginning of my project pan to 24. This is kind of going to be my focus in the month of November. I really want to finish this one, but it's still going. So we're gonna see. This isn't a foundation, it's a tinted sunscreen, but this is the Tower 28 Sunny Days Broad Spectrum SPF 30. I have mine in the color 15 Melrose. This is the 3rd product of this month that I finished. It is done, it is done. Again, there are some people that are so intense. They like cut it open, they get every last drop out. I have mad respect for them. I'm too lazy. So we're calling it a day. Nothing will squeeze out anymore. It's expired at this point, which kind of means like the sunscreen probably isn't as effective as it was originally. I do use double kind of layers of sunscreen anyways, but it did expire last month. So I'm glad I was able to finish it without, you know, kind of letting it linger too much longer. Let's see, for this one, I used it a total of 9 times in October, bringing my total amount of usage to 41 times since I started this project pan. So it definitely got a lot of use, and it's a great product. I love this. I was like, oh, do I want to repurchase it? And then I was like, no, you have too many. Finish what you have first. So we're not going to be repurchasing this yet, but this is a great product. A fun one in my project pan, I have the Dior Airflash foundation in the color 2N. The reason why this one is in my project pan is because they don't make it anymore. They do not make it anymore, and it is so good. It is such a fun foundation. But let's see, it's got a lot in it left. I have only used it a total of 5 times since bringing it into my project pan last month, and 3 of those times were in October. But now that we have finally finished up the Tower 28, again, I think this one's gonna get a lot of use, but the focus is gonna be on this one. It's so close to being done. Oh, we'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth. We'll use them both. I only have one concealer in my project pan. That's the one from Dior, their Backstage concealer in the color 1N. 1N. You can't tell, but it has been used quite a bit. So I used it 7 times in the month of October, bringing my total amount of usage to 28 times since the start of my project pan. And the reason why it's in my project pan is because it's actually a great concealer, but I don't know if you can see how disgusting it is. The packaging is just not great. Like, I actually really like the applicator, but it just, when you put it back in, it oozes out. So it's not great. It's kind of annoying and gross, and I've cleaned it so many times and it still gets dirty. So that's why it's my project pan. I want to use it up. I think I can. I do know there's like pretty sizable dent in there, but it was lying on its side, so now you can't tell. But I'm making progress and I still really like it. So I'm still happy it's in my project pan. If you notice the camera shaking, it's because my assistant here, Surratt, likes to rub himself against the camera. So I'm gonna hopefully make him happy by picking him up, putting him in my lap. But if you see a little bit of shakiness, cats are around. Let's talk setting powders. We have 2 in my project pan currently. The first one is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I used this a total of 7 times in October, leaving my total to be 48 times since the start of my project pan. Yeah, it's still going strong. Like, I mean, I think there's maybe less than a third in there, but there's still product in there. It's crazy. I don't use a whole lot of setting powder. I really just use it in my T-zone, so it just doesn't go very fast. But we're still making our way through it. It's still a great product. So the other one that I chose is my MAC Lightscapade Mineralize Skinfinish. It's so pretty. It's got these like marbled kind of, you know, swirls in it. It's super cool, but it is shimmery, so I don't use it a whole lot. It's great kind of like for night looks or for when I'm filming, but for my day-to-day, I just don't really love how shimmery it is. It's not that noticeable, but I have just been going for more of a matte look lately, and I've been going into work like every day. So I tend to reach for something a little easier and quicker to do. For this one, I only used it 2 times this month, bringing my total to 6 times. So it is getting used. I do like it. It's just not my go-to. It looks a little flatter, maybe a little bit. We have one bronzer in my project pan. That is the Tarte Park Avenue, thank you, kitty, Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. Oh, this is hard to do with a cat on your lap. And I have mine in the matte version. And I used this a total of 3 times in October, bringing my total usage to 8 times. And I don't know if you can see, but it is actually, you can kind of see the ribbing in there from the pan. So I think I'm making some progress. It's hard to tell in something like this though, because it doesn't look like I'm making any progress, but I can see the little like metal ribbing in there. So that gives me hope. Because at first I was like, I don't think anything's happening to it. I'm using it, nothing is happening, but I'm seeing some progress. So, whew, that's good. I'm glad I only picked one bronzer for this half. We finished the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer last month, and I was just like, it's gonna be too hard if I try to do multiple bronzers. It just didn't work out well last time. Let's focus on one. So I'm glad that I'm focusing on one right now because we're seeing some progress. Blushes, we have 3 blushes. The first one is the Tower 28 blush. Let's see, I used this a total of 2 times last month, bringing my total to 5 times. I have it in the color Magic Hour. It's cream, it's awesome, it's a great neutral color. I love it quite a bit, and the reason why it's in my project pan is because Tower 28 is a clean beauty brand. Chances of this going bad faster than some of my other cream products is pretty high, and I like it. I wanted to get more use out of it, so we're still making some progress. I still really enjoy it. It smells fine. You have to check these things. It's not growing anything weird, so yeah, it's doing well. It's getting used. Even though this is my favorite blush, I only used it twice. So I've only used it a total of 5 times, but this is from Surratt. This is the Barbe Artistique blush. It's this beautiful bright pink color. It has a little bit of shimmer in it. It is like the most beautiful soft formula. What's nice about it is that you can layer it really well. So you can put it on for just a really light look, or you can layer it on for like a more vibrant pink. But it is just, Surratt is such a beautiful brand. So I want everything from them, but they are pricey, which is why this is in here, because it's a pricey brand. I have quite a few items from Surratt and I never use them. Ooh, and I almost dropped it. Phew. So that's why it's in this project pan, because I want to get my money's worth again. I want to use it more. It's a great blush. So yeah, I need to pull this one out more in November. Do we even want to talk about the Chanel blush? If you've been here, you know. I have a hard time using this blush. This is their Le Beige Eau de Blush in light pink. I've only used it a total of 5 times, and this has been in my project pan since the beginning. So 5 months of usage. It's like once a month. I didn't even use it in October. I had a very busy October. Work was very busy. I had some big projects that I was finishing up. So it just wasn't anything I wanted to reach for, which doesn't bode well for this guy. I just didn't want to reach for him. He's kind of annoying. We have 2 highlighters. The first one is from Bobbi Brown. This is their Pink Glow highlighting powder. It's a limited edition packaging. It's gorgeous. It looks like this. This is a fantastic highlighter for like everyday use because it's a lot more subtle than the other highlighter we're going to talk about it. But I used it 3 times in October, bringing my total to 9 times. This one was just introduced into my project pan last month, and I have been enjoying the heck out of it. Like, I feel like I went too easy on myself with the newest batch that I added into the project pan, because I like all of them so much. Except that Chanel, but that Chanel's been around, so, you know. But it's just a very light, just kind of like glowy blush. Or a highlighter. It's not anything like in your face, like stopping traffic. It's a lot more subtle than that, which is why I really like wearing it to work. You can layer it, but I normally go in with a pretty light hand. And I chose this because I knew I didn't want to ruin the pretty embossing, and that's stupid. I paid money for this. I'm gonna use it. So that's why it's in my project pan. It's just a fantastic, fantastic highlighter. This other one is also a fantastic highlighter, and I don't use this one enough because it's the opposite in that it's not subtle at all. So this is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Stole the Show highlighter. It's gorgeous. It is just, again, stop you in your tracks. So pretty. I used this 2 times in October, bringing my total to 3 times, but these pans are pretty shallow, so I think if I use it a couple more times, whew, I need more coffee, a couple more times, and then we're gonna see the pan pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. We have a face palette. It's the MAC Studio Sculpt palette. I don't know where it is. I'm looking around. I have no idea where I put it. I did not use it in October, except for once. I used it once. Okay, I used it once, bringing my total amount of usage to 2 times. I'm just not loving it, but I need to use it more before I really decide if it's something I want to keep or get rid of when I start doing my declutter at the end of the year. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. So I'm gonna find where I put it, somewhere around here, and I'm gonna make an effort to use it in November. We have a couple lip products that I don't really keep track of, but we are working on the Hourglass Phantom Balm Lip in Mist. And this one, okay, it smells fine. This one's in my project pan because it's just a very temperamental formula. It melted in my purse at one point. I don't like bringing it out because of that, but I have used it a couple times this month. Again, with the lip products, I don't really keep track of how often I'm using them. I just try to grab them when I have a chance. Can't say the same for the lipstick I chose. So this is the Dior Rouge lipstick in 999. I picked the mini version. I love this color. I love the Dior formula. I just have not used this yet. I have not used it since I introduced it into my project pan. My friend here on YouTube warned me. She's like, you're not gonna get a lot of use. You're gonna want to, but you're not gonna use your lipsticks. And she's great at her project pans. And she was 100% right. I just don't reach for this lipstick. It's a great lipstick. I don't know. Like hopefully in November I use it a couple times. Obviously, even though it is a tiny size, there's no way I'm gonna be able to finish it in November, but I'm hoping to use it a couple times. Fingers crossed. Last but not least, the palette that I chose for this project pan is Enduring Love. This one was just introduced last month and I used it a total of 4 times, giving me a total of 8 times. So this is by Sydney Grace, one of my favorite indie brands. Their eyeshadows are flawless. Absolutely beautiful. I've been having a lot of fun with this palette, but because I've been trying out so many new palettes over the past few months, I just don't reach for it a lot, but I do really like it when I use it. So yeah, it's a great palette. Sydney Grace is amazing. So the total amount of usage that I got out of the product in my project pan is 68 times. So I used these products 68 times in the month of October. Last month I did a lot better. I used all my products 84 times. So a small little dip there, but overall in my project pan, I've used all the items, let's see, 383 times. So we are definitely getting a lot of use. We finished 3 products just in October. That gives me hope that we can, oh, well, and we're throwing one away, but we finished products. So this is great. I am not doing a project pan in the month of December because I just want to focus on my declutters in December, but I am really thinking about doing another project pan in January. We still have 1 more month to go. I'm getting ahead of myself. We still have November to see if there's any more of these products that we can put a pan in. If we can finish, that would be amazing. But we're gonna see what happens. And yeah, I'm excited. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you are, doing your own little project pan. If you are, let me know how that's going. I would love to hear from you. And I am off to get some coffee, I think. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.